Dear students, welcome to our YouTube channel Vidya for Success. So in this video, we will be studying some of the CET concepts regarding the lesson Plant Kingdom. Yes, our first question of this chapter is, which of the following is incorrect concerning green alga and higher plants? So in the plant kingdom, we have 5 different divisions. It starts from the division algae. So here we have all the primitive plants, and in the higher plants we have angiosperms, and also we can take gymnospermic plant as a higher plants. So we have similar characteristic features in the primitive plants as well as in higher plant. In the same way, we have lots of differences between primitive plants, that means in algae, and higher plants. So in the option they have given some of the statement regarding green algae and higher plant. So we have to select which one is incorrect. Option A, both are usually multicellular and motile. So in the lower plants, that means in the algae, we are having unicellular organisms also. So we could not consider all green algae are multicellular. We have a best example of unicellular algae, that is Chlamydomonas. And higher plants are not motile. We know angiospermic plant like a flower bearing plants, they are not motile. So this is the incorrect statement with regarding the green algae and higher plants. Then option B, both capture energy by utilizing the same pigment. This is right, because the green algae as well as higher plants, they are having the same pigment, that is chlorophyll pigment, to helps in the process of photosynthesis. Then option C, the cell wall of both mostly composed of cellulose. So this is a correct this thing statement, because in the plant kingdom the cell wall of the plant is made out of cellulose. This is also correct one. Then D, both usually store glucose as starch. This is also correct one, because the reserve food material in plant is starch. So if you see all the four this thing statement with respect to the green algae and higher plant, the incorrect one is A. So A is the answer. Yes, our second question is, agar agar is obtained from. So what is meant by this agar agar? So agar agar is a commercially available product. So this product is obtained actually from a kind of alga. So what is the use of this product? So this is used in the laboratory for solidifying liquid media. So when we are growing microorganisms in the laboratory, actually we need of nutrient media. So for solidifying nutrient media, we have to add agar agar. So by adding this, liquid media can be converted into solid form. So this is actually obtained from one of the red alga, that is called as a Gelidium, and also it is obtained from Gracilaria. Clear, right? So let us look into the option. Option A, chlorella. So chlorella is not a red alga. This is a green alga. This is not used in the extraction of agar agar. Then option B, Gelidium. So Gelidium is a kind of red alga. This is actually used in the extraction of agar agar. Then option C, Spirogyra. Spirogyra is also a kind of green alga. Then option D, Eulothrix. So Eulothrix is also a kind of green alga. So as I told, agar agar is actually obtained from a red alga, that is Gelidium, or instead of Gelidium, if they have given Gracilaria, you could select that one also. So the correct option is option B. Yes, the next question is, which one of the following is or are correct about red algae? So red algae is one group of algae, because the algae are divided under 3 classes based on the kind of pigment present in them. Some of the algae, they are appears green in color, and they are belonging to the class Chlorophyceae. And some are appears in brown in color, they are belonging to Phaeophyceae, and which are red in color, red algae are belonging to Rhodophyceae. So based on the kind of pigment, they are divided under 3 different classes. And in each of the this thing classes, the members are having certain characteristic feature. They are unique in their habitat, they are unique in their reserve food material, like this, they are unique in their characteristic feature. So, among the option, so we have to select which one is correct with regarding red alga. So, let us study the option A. They range from microscopic unicellular to those nearly half a meter length. So, this is the correct statement with regarding red algae, because the red algae are not only consist of multicellular members, here we also having unicellular algae. So, this is the correct statement. Then option B, some are coralline algae. So, what is mean by coralline algae? So, these algae, they will secrete some of the contents. So, those content will deposit over the surface of the algae, and it will become very hard, because when the algae is growing in its habitat, it need a protection. So, because to protect its own body, red algae will secrete calcium carbonate, so that will cover its body, and it will just form the harder outer surface. So, this is also correct statement. Then option C, they form coral like structure and important producers in certain coral reefs. So, the one of the habitat of red algae is coral reefs, because they will also grow in the coral reefs, and in the coral reefs they are the best producers, because as I told, they consist of the chlorophyll pigment also with together with the phycoerythrin. So, because of the chlorophyll pigment, they can also prepare their own food material. So, because of this, they are very important producers in the coral reefs. So, all the three statement what we have seen is correct. So, the correct option is D, all the above. Then the fourth question is, the pyrenoids are made up of. So, here you have to understand what is mean by pyrenoids. So, pyrenoids are nothing but they are subcellular microcompartments. So, these microcompartments are present in some of the green algae. Here we can notice the presence of reserve food material. So, if you see the structure of Spirogyra, there you can notice the presence of pyrenoids. So, what is the function of these pyrenoids? So, these are the compartments where the reserve food material will be present. Clear, right? So, in the green alga, the starch is the reserve food material. So, this can be seen in the pyrenoids. Then option A, proteinaceous center and starchy sheath. So, this is not the correct, because the pyrenoids will be having centrally located starch, and that will be protected by a protein sheath. Clear, right? But here they have given opposite character, that means they have given starchy sheath will be present, and the proteinaceous center, like that they have given. So, this is not the correct one. Then option B, core of protein surrounded by fatty sheath. So, core is not made out of protein in the pyrenoid, and moreover the fatty sheet also not present. Then option C, core of starch surrounded by sheath of protein. So, this is the correct one, because the pyrenoid structure is made out of the core that is having starch, and the starch will be surrounded by a protein sheath. So, this is the correct one. Then option D, core of nucleic acid surrounded by protein sheath. So, nucleic acid is not at all present in the pyrenoid. So, the correct one is option C. Then the fifth question is, red algae differ from the green and brown algae due to. So, we have three groups of algae. Some are green, some are brown, some are red algae. So, we have lots of differences among the three algae, as well as similarities also we have. But if we are comparing red algae with green and brown algae, red algae are little advanced compared to green and brown, because they are showing the little advanced body organization as well as mode of reproduction compared to these two primitive members of algae. So, let us see what is the difference we can notice in the red algae compared to green and brown algae. So, option A, absence of chlorophyll A. So, chlorophyll A equally present in all the three groups of algae. This is not the difference. Then option B, absence of differentiated cells. So this kind of cell is also present in red, green as well as brown algae. Then option C, hemoglobin within their cells. So hemoglobin is not at all present in the red algae, because as I told, phycoerythrin is the pigment that is giving red color to this group of algae. So hemoglobin is not present in red algae as well as in other two groups of algae. Then the D is absence of flagellated stages in their life cycle. So this is the correct one, because the red algae are little advanced in their mode of reproduction compared to green and brown algae. So if you see the reproduction in the green and brown algae, they will form flagellated gametes. But the red algae, they are showing oogamous type of this thing reproduction. So in the oogamous type of reproduction, the female gamete formed is a non-motile, and it is formed within Carpogonia. So Carpogonia is a female sex organ in red algae. And the male gametes, they are formed within a structure called as spermatangia. So spermatangium will be formed within the spermatangia. So spermatangium is a kind of gamete that is non-motile. That means the flagella is not present. So both the gametes what we have seen in the red algae, they are non-motile. So this is the advanced character what we can notice here. So this is difference as well. So the correct answer is option D. Then the sixth one is, which of the following statement is true with reference to algae? So the first statement is, only spores are invariably haploid. So not only the spores are haploid in the algae, because if you see the plant body in the algae, the plant body is itself a gametophytic. Gametophytic plant body will be having how many sets of chromosome? One set. So because of that, the gametophytic plant body will be produced as gametes. They are haploid in nature. So here they have given only spores are invariably haploid. So this is not a correct one, because gametes formed are also haploid in case of algae. Then option B, spores and gametes are invariably haploid. So this is the correct one, because initially the algae are going to produce gametes. So gametes, they are haploid in their nature and they will fuse together and form zygote. So zygote is diploid, and that is short lived, because it will again undergo meiosis and form haploid spores. Clear, right? So the spores as well as the gametes formed are invariably haploid in algae. Then option C, spores and gametes are invariably diploid. So this is not correct, because algae is itself a gametophytic plant. It cannot produces directly the diploid gametes. Clear, right? So this is not a correct statement. Then option D, only gametes are invariably haploid. So only gametes are not invariably haploid. Spores are also haploid, because spores are produced by meiotic division of zygote. So the correct option is option B, spores and gametes are invariably haploid. Then the seventh question is, an important difference between the zoospores and aplanospores is that. So what is the meaning of zoospore here? So zoospores are asexually reproducing spores. That means when algae they are reproducing by asexual method, they will produce as zoospores. They are motile in nature and they will be having only one nuclei. Then let us see what is meant by aplanospores. So aplanospores are also asexually reproducing spores. So these spores are not having flagella, because they are non-motile, and they are also having only one nuclei. So these are the characters of zoospores and aplanospores. Let's look at the option A. Zoospores are uninucleate while aplanospores are binucleate. This is wrong, because both are uninucleated structures. And option B, zoospores are large while aplanospores are smaller. So this is also wrong, because zoospores as well as aplanospores are one or the similar sized structures. Then Option C, zoospores are motile while aplanospores are non-motile. This is correct one because zoospores will be having flagella for locomotion, so that they are motile, and aplanospores are non-motile because they are not having flagella. So C is correct. Then the eighth question is, Ulothrix can be described as a. So Ulothrix is actually green alga. So this green alga will be present in fresh flowing water, and if you see the structure of Ulothrix under the compound microscope, it just appear like a elongated filamentous structure because the body nature of the Ulothrix is filamentous. So it is called as a filamentous alga. Then this filamentous alga will be produces motile zoospores during asexual type of reproduction, and some they will produce as aplanospores, that means non-motile spores will also produces during asexual reproduction. But if you come to the sexual mode of reproduction, they will reproduce us by producing motile gametes. So these are the few superficial characters we can see in Ulothrix. Yes, let us look into the option. Option A, membranous algae producing zoospores. As I told, Ulothrix are filamentous algae, they are not membranous algae. Then option B, non-motile colonial algae lacking zoospores. So they are not colonial algae because they are filamentous algae. Then also they have given lacking zoospores. Zoospores are also produces in Ulothrix. So this is also wrong. Then option C, filamentous algae lacking flagellated reproductive stages. So this is also wrong one because they have given the flagellated reproductive stages absent. Then option D, filamentous stage with flagellated reproductive stages. This is correct one because the body nature of Ulothrix is filamentous, and it will be showing the flagellated reproductive stages. So the correct one is option D. Then the ninth question is, which of the following occurs both in fresh as well as in marine water? So let us look into the option A, Edogonium. So Edogonium is a freshwater green alga. So this alga cannot be seen in marine water. Then option B, Cladophora. So Cladophora is also a green alga, but this can be seen both in freshwater as well as in marine water. Then option C, Spirogyra. So Spirogyra is a green alga, but it can be seen only in fresh water. So Edogonium and Spirogyra, they are freshwater, they are restricted to freshwater, but Cladophora can be seen both in freshwater as well as marine water. So the correct one is option B, Cladophora. Then the 10th question is, which one is parasitic algae? So which algae we are considering as a parasitic? So parasitic algae, they can survive in the one more host organism, and it will cause us disease in that particular host. So that kind of algae is called as parasitic algae. So among the option we have to select which algae is parasitic in nature. So the first option is Eukarya. So Eukarya is a kind of yellow-green alga. So because it will be having xanthophyll pigment, so because of this it will appear yellow-green in color, and this is not a parasitic algae. And option B, Polysiphonia. So Polysiphonia is a green alga. So this is not parasitic in nature. Then option C, Cephalurose. So Cephalurose is a kind of green alga. So this is parasitic in nature because it will cause us red rust disease in plants. So because of its parasitic nature, it is considered as a parasitic algae. Then option D, Batrachospermum. So Batrachospermum is a red algae. This is habited to fresh water. So among the four options, the parasitic algae is Cephalurose. So being a green alga, it will cause disease in plants. Red rust disease will be causes. So it is the answer for this question. Then the fifth question is, red algae differ from the green and brown algae due to. So we have three groups of algae. Some are green, some are brown, some are red algae. So we have lots of differences among the three algae as well as similarities also we have. But if we are comparing red algae with green and brown algae, red algae are little advanced compared to green and brown because they are showing the little advanced body organization as well as mode of reproduction compared to these two primitive members of algae. So let us see what is the difference we can notice in the red algae compared to green and brown algae. So option A, absence of chlorophyll A. So chlorophyll A equally present in all the three groups of algae. This is not the difference. Then option B, absence of differentiated cells. So this kind of cell is also present in red, green as well as brown algae. Then option C, hemoglobin within their cells. So hemoglobin is not at all present in the red algae because as I told, phycoerythrin is the pigment that is giving red color to this group of algae. So hemoglobin is not present in red algae as well as in other two groups of algae. Then the D is absence of flagellated stages in their life cycle. So this is the correct one because the red algae are little advanced in their mode of reproduction compared to green and brown algae. So if you see the reproduction in the green and brown algae, they will form flagellated gametes. But the red algae, they are showing oogamous type of this thing reproduction. So in the oogamous type of reproduction, the female gamete formed is a non-motile and it is formed within Carpogonia. So Carpogonia is a Yes, the 12th question is which commonly known as peat moss or bog moss. So here we have to understand what is the meaning of peat moss. Say for example, when some of the algae they are growing on the ground surface, so lower part of that plant will slowly started decaying. So finally it will become dry, the plant completely become dry, and this kind of plant will be increases the absorbing capacity of soil. So because of this, the soil will hold the moisture for long time period, and also the mineral absorption and mineral holding capacity will also be increases in soil. So that is called as peat moss. So peat moss usually increases water holding capacity of the soil. So here they are asking which of the algae is act as a peat moss. So the option A, Polytrichum. So Polytrichum is not act as a peat moss. Then B, Funaria. So Funaria is not a alga. So this is a bryophyte. And C, Sphagnum. So sphagnum is a kind of alga. It will grow on the soil and it acts as a peat moss because it will increases the water holding capacity of soil. Then option D, Rixia. So among the four options, the correct one is sphagnum because it acts as a peat moss.